Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the Maibatsu Manchez Scout. And we're taking it racing in Will It Off-Road at the races. That's right. I know, taking it racing in Will It Off-Road at the racing. Need to work on that title. Also need to work on my ambition because I overcooked that quarter. I was trying to maintain my lead. Went way too fast, couldn't stop because this bike, while it's fine off-road, it doesn't have very good brakes. I think Hobo and whoever that is on the left discovered that as well. It also wheelies really easily, sometimes maybe even when you shouldn't. I nearly got flattened by Commander Hobo right there. So anyways, the concept of Will It Off-Road at the races. When we have finished testing all of the vehicles from a particular DLC, we take the two fastest and the two slowest from that DLC, and we race them. So today we have the Manchez, which I believe was the second fastest. There was actually one that was faster than the ones you'll see in the video, but you can't race it. I believe the Toreador got a better time than the Manchez, and maybe even next week's fast car. But you can't race it. The go-karts were equally ruled out, even though they didn't get very good times. The Vapid ruled out, can't race it. A lot of vehicles from this DLC cannot be entered in races, so we're only left with like 6 to choose from. So the Manchez, you know, even though, I mean, it did get a decent time going up the mountain, though you wouldn't know it by how I'm driving it. But yeah, that's what we do. We take the two slowest, two fastest. So today, it's kind of a military theme with a camo bike and an army jeep. And then next week, it's a karate theme. So I guess you already know what's coming next week, don't you? And I had said last week or the week before that once the two Will It Off-Road at the races were over, that Will It Off-Road would go back into the vault until the next DLC comes out, but that's not entirely true. Since Arena War came out, I have acquired 2 additional Arena War vehicles that we've never tested in Will It Off-Road. One looks like it should do great going up the mountain, but from what I understand, is absolutely terrible at going up the mountain, so that should be fun. And the other is a sports car with no grip. So it should be for a fun video. You can probably guess the two that I'm thinking of. Oh, sorry about that, Hobo. I should have... Was I on the right? I don't know. They went by too quick. But anyways, I'm at the top of the mountain now. Not really having the best race, though next week... I'm telling you, next week, keep your eye out for what may be one of the most epic last-second first-place overtakes in the history of my channel. No exaggeration. We're coming up on 6 years on the channel here, and it's pretty phenomenal. So be sure to watch for that. It's pretty good. If you're part of the Vainglorious Discord server, you may have already seen a photo from it. And of course, if you were part of the Vainglorious Discord server and you play GTA Online, oh god, yep, bad breaks, and you play GTA Online on PC, you're welcome to join us. Not only do we do daily objectives every single evening, but we also get together on Saturday afternoons for a community live stream that starts with GTA. And on Sunday afternoons, we get together to do at least daily objectives, but we also often will record a video or 2 or 3. So if you'd like to be in our community videos, which that's what Will It Off-Road is turned into, is a community video. If you'd like to be in those, just join the Vainglorious Discord server, play on GTA, on PC. And, you know, don't be a troll, don't be a dick. We don't want either of those. And of course, if you are already a member of the Vainglorious Discord server, that's our Risky Line Fence taking. Risky also, he's on the bagger. For some reason, he wasn't able to choose the Manchez. I think he chose it, but then they didn't give it to him. I've had that problem happening a lot more with races in GTA. So he wound up going off the mountain, couldn't recover his bike, and had to respawn. So he's on a bagger. I think Hobo is on a BF 400 now because he lost his bike. So that he had borrowed, because that's the beauty of a GTA race, is if you don't own the vehicle at the beginning of the race, everybody can just get out of their vehicle. You can get in the copy that's being raced, And then the person whose vehicle you've taken, they just go get on yours and respawn, and yours goes away. It's kind of handy. That's how we get everybody on the same bike. So that's why you'll often see just like 2, maybe 3 examples of the exact same thing. Because not everybody owns it, because they either don't have any money or because they're being incredibly cheap. I'm looking at you, Commander Hobo. That's right. I called him out like that. Yeah, he's going to be at 400. But anyways, if you are already part of the Vainglorious Discord server, you could also potentially get access to the behind-the-scenes videos of all the community videos, as well as some other stuff I post from time to time. It's pretty occasional. And that's all through the Vainglorious Supporters channel that is only visible to Vainglorious supporters. Well, how do you become a supporter? Easy. Either make a monthly pledge over on patreon.com/Vainglorious, or subscribe at twitch.tv/Vainglorious Gaming, or right here on YouTube, click that join or become a member, whichever it happens to say for, display for you, and become a member of the YouTube channel. All of those get you access to that supporters only channel, and that's where I put the links to the unlisted supporters only videos. Of course, you would have to have the respective service linked to your Discord profile, but that's pretty easy to do through Discord itself. But if you're not on the Vainglorious Discord server, we would love to have you. We have a lot of fun. A lot of people with a huge variety in the types of games they play. People from all over the world, so no matter where you're from, you should probably be able to find people who are online when you are. So, yeah, it's a good place to be. Good bunch of people. Only a couple jerks. I'm one of them. So if I'm the jerk, well, you don't have much to worry about. So I guess just because everybody else has had issues, I've managed to sneak up in the second, despite having a very poor race. But Sparing Donkey's down there in the lead. Barring any unfortunate incidents from him, he's going to hold on to that. And I'm not going to have the best damage descent either. It's not going to be pretty. I'm just warning you now. If tragedy is not a thing you like to watch, then by all means, avert your eyes, because this is about to go horribly wrong. And I blame it on 2 factors. One, this is a stunt race, so bikes just bounce like that. Sent me off to the wrong side, and now it's going to continue bouncing off of everything, and I'm now heading toward the wrong side of Paleto Bay. And look at this. Look at that. What even is that? In what world does physics work that way, that your back tire barely touches the ground and you go flying 300 meters down a mountain? I nearly got all the way down this mountain. Now that I've finally stopped bouncing around, I'm going to do my best to get over back by the sawmill where the next checkpoint is, because on the damaged descent, you have to go from the top all the way down to that first checkpoint by the sawmill. It's like that, so, should you happen to fall off a bike, which is pretty rare in a stunt race, though I did manage to do it earlier. But should you happen to fall off or go boom, you have to start all the way back over at the top on the damage descent. It's cruel, I know. I mean, it's partly intentional, partly a limitation of the Rockstar Critter. Here's the bounciness again and the lack of brakes. I was so annoyed in this race. I wanted to sell this bike by the time this race was over. I was just so completely annoyed. If it had better brakes, I think I could have controlled a lot of the bounciness, but it doesn't. I hear BF 400 overtaking me. It's alright, he's not allowed to finish until everybody who's on the proper vehicle has finished. So that's just the way it works. If you respawn, whether you're in a faster or a slower vehicle, you've got to wait for people who are on the correct vehicle. I'm going to take an interesting line to finish. And there we go. Second place. But of course, that did give Sparing Donkey the win. As he celebrates with air drums, it brings us to our next vehicle, the Vapid Winky. Not exactly fast. As you can guess, this is one of the 2 slowest vehicles that we tested for Will It Offroad. It's not that it's bad. It'll go up the mountain. It's just, well, first of all, you get caught up in Sven and Donkey's ongoing grudge match that they have against each other. However, Donkey got karma'd, so he had it coming. I mean, he did. Let's face it. Those two just slammed into me. I was up there minding my own business. I was taking my line. I was in lead. They were not halfway alongside me. Therefore, they had no right to make the move that they made. And they both were just... It's their grudge match that they have. And I fell victim to it. Donkey and Sven love to antagonize one another. And there we go. Sven got his karma by rolling over. By the end, there will be far fewer Winky icons on the map. Just pay attention. Right now, you can see everybody is in a Winky. That won't last. There's only 5 of us, and I think only 3 Winkies finished, maybe 2. Not 100% certain. One makes it pretty far through the race, and then all of a sudden it turns into a regular dot because, well, we just don't talk about him. So I screwed up here, but this is just where I landed. I wasn't trying to block the track. I was trying here. You can see I was clearly trying to get out of the way. But because I landed in everybody's way, whoever was hit me. I think it was Hobo bumped me. That stopped him dead. And the person behind him hit him and stopped them dead. So I managed to maintain my lead, though getting this thing moving is atrocious because there's the bushes again. Yes, I'm going to complain about the bushes because it's stupid. It's just dumb. It's like they have 100 times greater off-road traction loss or something when they just touch a bush. Look, I mean, look, it stopped dead on a bush. What's really annoying is when you're in a really fast vehicle and just like maybe your right front tire touches the bush because the whole car will suddenly spin on that right front tire. Just spin around because that tire locked up is how it acts. I mean, that's what happens if you have one tire locked up on the front. The car will want to spin that direction. Or at least pull that direction. And if you let off the throttle, it will definitely have the back end come around and go the direction of the locked up tire on the front. But that's dumb. There's no reason maybe these big bushes, sure. Oh, wow, Sven taking risky lines, and it's quasi-paying off. There's nowhere for me to get around in here, but the bushes just really get on my nerves. And it wasn't always this way. You can go back and watch earlier World Off-Road videos. We go right through the bushes like they're just normal dirt. You know, it's something that was added in the past 2 years, maybe 18 months. I think it was with the casino update, honestly. And I just don't understand what it is. And I have no hopes of it ever being corrected. But it is incredibly annoying. The bushes have become the bane of our existence. I took the wrong line, and because of the stupid stunt camera, my front end came around. It's really annoying. Somebody left a comment on one of the last World Off-Road at the races. Like, you know you can disable the stunt camera. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. The stunt camera you can disable is the cinematic stunt camera. What are you doing, monkey? I swear that boy doesn't understand the rules of racing. However, let me get up in a second. You can disable the cinematic stunt camera, the one that when you do a stunt, like Sven is currently doing down there, but at least you got the checkpoint so you can just respawn. Because it didn't cause him to go off the mountain. But when you go over a trigger in a stunt race, it'll, press right on the D-pad to trigger the stunt camera, and it gives you that cinematic view. Oh my god, these freaking bushes. That's the stunt camera you can turn on and off. But it says right in Rockstar Editor that this setting has no effect on the overall stunt cam in a stunt race. And because I've used stunt props in this, it's now classified as a stunt race. I like the smoke, I like the fire, I like the fireworks, I like the props, but I'm getting really annoyed by the stunt camera when we race. So we might just go back to just a boring track. I don't know. It's just hard to decide because oh god, issues are being had, but I can respond because I'm in the correct vehicle. I own this is mine. You can see we've already got one person in a regular vehicle, and I'm gonna get really annoyed at them here in just a minute. 2 people actually, because again, you're supposed to leave the people who are in the correct vehicle alone. Don't jockey for position, don't worry about the race. Just stay out of the people who are in the right vehicle. And does he do it? Of course not. No. And you'll see. It happens here in just a minute. You can see him right back there in his big Riata and not paying attention to the slower vehicle. And I'm off. That was sparing donkey, and I'm still angry at him for it. Dude, seriously. You weren't even in the right vehicle. Why were you being such a tryhard? Knock it off. Anyway, I get salty sometimes. Can you tell? See, there's Hobo. He knows. Hobo's like, oh, I gotta not get in the way of the people who saw the right car. It's just a weird thing. I tried to save it, but then the stunt camera kicked in and I couldn't tell where I was going and didn't save it. So I'm just gonna have to drive back up into the checkpoint. But anyways, that's the basic rule of World Offroad of the races. We only have two essential rules. Is everybody has to be in the same vehicle, and if for whatever reason you borrowed one and you lose it, you can't finish ahead of somebody in the correct vehicle unless that person's going to DNF. There's no point in everybody DNFing and losing a bunch of money in RP. If they're clearly going to DNF and they have no hope of getting to the finish line, by all means, finish. And that happens either this week or next week. I don't remember which one. The other rule is if you knock somebody off the mountain, which Donkey did, he knocked me off the mountain, you have to wait for them to catch back up. Of course, he wasn't even in the right vehicle, so he shouldn't have been in a position to knock me off the mountain anyhow. Anyways, let's see my rant. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm not really, but I'm over it. For the sake of the video, I'm over it. Because we still have 6-7 minutes to go? Be glad it's only 23 minutes long. It was originally like 32 minutes long, but I managed to find a bunch of space to edit out. Basically, I edit out everything after I finish until you see the winner do their victory dance. Essentially, at least on the first car. I don't know if I did it for this one or not, but I will probably wind up edited pretty much that way. So I'm in second place. I'm pretty much guaranteed a second place. There is still a second Winky way up on the mountain, but it's not going to stay that way. And that's all I'll say about that, because somebody just can't drive anyway, period. We've got one person that, bless their heart, they try, but just can't do it. Just can't do it. So, heading back up, another slow ascent. Normally you guys don't see the ascent back up. You normally don't see this part. I just cut it out of the World Offroad videos because there's no point to have a second ascent. We've already done one. But since it's a race and we have to go down the mountain for a damage ascent, obviously we kind of got to go back up the mountain. It'd be really cool if you could have cargo bombs waiting down there that just triggered a cutscene. And you're just a cargo bomb would pick you up and then suddenly you're at the top of the mountain. That would be cool. Kind of like in some of the missions. That'd be awesome. Never happened. Races would never be that advanced. So could you imagine that in a transform race? How cool that would be? Oh my god, I need to make a Will It Offroad transform race. Because I could put that... Oh my gosh, that would so work, wouldn't it? If I put one of those teleport spots at the bottom of the controlled descent where we turn around and go back up and had it come out at the top by the ramp, you would just carry all your speed and go shooting off the mountain. That might work. And it would guarantee, I could just change it every week to the right vehicle. And if you own it, you'll have your upgraded version. If you don't, you'll have a stock version. So everybody, I could put one down the road a ways from where we actually start. So everybody could just drive through. And then they would be in the right vehicle. So even if they have to respawn, they'd still be in the right vehicle. Because it's transform race. And it locks you into that until you hit the next transform spot. I may have just come up with a solution to this. Oh my god. Just... That might work. I may try that. Just right here on the fly, I had that eureka moment of realization that I might be able to get this to work if I make a transform. You can make transform races, right? Pretty sure you can. I don't know. I've never tried making one because in general I don't like them. I think they're kind of weird. But that could work. That could work pretty easily. As long as, you know, the new vehicles are available in Transform races, and I don't see why they wouldn't be, like the new DLC vehicles. Look, I couldn't get this thing up the side in one run earlier, and now right up. That happens a lot to me on a second ascent, but I couldn't make it on the first one. On the second one, I magically figured it out. I always try to go over here to the right-hand side because if you can get it right, you can get a lot of speed, but you gotta avoid these trees, which I didn't do. And if you manage to avoid the trees and get a lot of speed, then you gotta avoid the big cable car tower right up ahead. But despite bouncing around an awful lot, I do manage to finally get down the mountain. I don't remember if it's this week or next week in the slow vehicle. I have like a pretty epic landing. It gets out of control, and then just boop right on its wheels. I think it's next week. It was pretty spectacular. Definitely an accidental sixth stunt. Which, by the way, oh, congratulations, Finn. By the way, if you're not playing Will and Offroad Bingo, click the link in the description down below. They work for Will and Offroad races as well. And you just click on Generate Card once you get to that website, and then click or tap on the things that happen in the video that you see on the screen. And if you manage to get a bingo, then put bingo in the comments down below. Or come tell us about it on the Vainglorious Discord server. Or both. Why not both? But finally nearing the end, though not before I'm going to eat another tree. But we're getting close. We are getting close. Thank God this is taking forever in this slow thing. You can see people are waiting down there, though, for me to finish. Well, except Donkey respawned for some reason. And he's now still having trouble getting through there. I don't know why he respawned. No telling. There really is no telling. Maybe he just wanted to have a repaired vehicle for the final bit. This thing loves to tip over, so I'm still struggling quite a bit. But the finish line is in sight. So don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Do all that stuff. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Get subscribed with notifications turned on so you don't miss my GTA videos, including weekly Rockstar News videos and other stuff from other games. And until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.